Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about iPhones versus iPads. Which one makes the most sense for your company? So we've been asked this question 100 times. It's a tough decision and it's one of the most important decisions that you'll make for your company when it comes to IT buying decisions. And the reason is because it can get very expensive. If you choose the wrong device and end up having to purchase another device sooner than you anticipated, it can really hit you and hurt your budget. So what we did is we took all the things that we think you should take into account when making this decision of whether to buy iPhones or iPads for your team and broken it down into 10 sections. So here we go, let's jump right into it. First up is portability. So if portability is very important for you, if the size of the device is important, there's a clear winner here. It's the iPhone. If you have guys that are climbing telephone poles or working in confined spaces, need to have something they can stick in their pocket and be on the go, the iPhone is the clear winner, no doubt. Screen size. So this one used to be more clear-cut than it is now. Since the iPhone's gotten bigger and bigger, it's kind of making its own case that if you want a lot of screen real estate, the iPhone's a good choice. At the end of the day, if having as much screen available to you as possible, the iPad is the clear winner. Durability. So in general, I think that Apple devices have kind of a bad rap on this front. I mean, sure, if you drop a 10-inch iPad on a concrete floor, it's going to bust the screen. But in general, all Apple devices are super durable, especially when you consider that most people stick them in a case right after they buy them. So we've seen everything from iPads falling into combines to iPhones getting shut up into tailgates. I mean, we've seen everything, but at the end of the day, both devices are pretty durable, so you can go either way on this one. Next up is cost. So any way you slice it, you're going to spend a lot of money on these devices. The iPads are cheaper and more affordable, and the iPhones have continued to get more and more expensive over the past few years. So when it comes straight down to cost, if cost is your most important factor, you're going to go with the iPad. Next up is data entry. So if your team's going to be out in the field taking tons of notes, doing a lot of typing and entering data, the iPad is the clear winner here. The iPhone excels at other types of data entry that you might want to think about, but at the end of the day, the iPad is king here. Up next, we have connectivity, wireless data plans. Just to be honest with you, if your team is out in the field and they need to have a connected device that's always online, the iPhone is the clear winner here. There are a few different options when it comes to the iPad, but from our experience with our customers, if they expect their employees to get online throughout the day, working with iPads just gets more difficult. It's difficult to add them to your mobile plans, it's difficult to manage in the field, and don't even try to hotspot them off the phone they have in their pocket. So if wireless connectivity is important to you, then definitely use the iPhone. If your folks are going to be working in a plant where you have Wi-Fi available, then that may not be as big of a deal. Okay, let's talk about cameras. So the camera on the iPhones and the iPads have become phenomenal. In general, Apple has become one of the best camera companies in the world. And that camera, all of that camera technology is packed into the flagship iPhone year over year because it's one of the biggest selling points. So if camera quality and the latest and greatest is important, then you're going to want to go with the iPhone. Lifetime value. So this is something specifically that I love about Apple devices is that the lifetime value of all Apple devices is phenomenal. So on both size classes, you're going to get great lifetime value. But I do believe that even though the iPhone is more expensive, you're just going to get more life out of it. The camera's going to be better longer, the CPU is going to be faster longer, and the software support across the board is going to be better. Speaking of software, let's talk about software. When you're making a purchasing decision for your company, you need to think about the apps and the tools that your guys are going to have to use. So most of the time, when people build software for mobile devices, they start on the phone platform first. So make sure and check with all the apps that you're going to need, all the websites they'll need to access, and see if they have compatibility on both platforms. Unfortunately, most developers support the iPhone first, and oftentimes that's the only one they support. So if there's a software tool that's absolutely critical to your workflow, check and make sure, but most likely the iPhone's going to be the winner here. And lastly, this is kind of a tech specky thing, but CPU power. It's not something you really have to think about on mobile devices anymore, thankfully, because Apple devices and Apple Silicon is so far ahead of the competition. But they're both great. I mean, both platforms have incredible power, even in the lower end iPads and iPhones. the CPU power is absolutely incredible. So this one's a draw. All right, that wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Hope this was helpful for you. I'll put a link to an article that we have on our website that goes a little bit more in depth into all these items. But I hope this helped you when it comes to making the decision of what devices to buy for your company. Thanks.